This episode of After the Quiet contains personal experiences and discussions related to coercive control, emotional abuse, and family court proceedings. Some of the content may be distressing or triggering for listeners. Hi, and welcome back to After the Quiet. This is episode 57. Today's episode is about something that, at the time, felt small. A scheduling conflict. A disagreement over a day. But looking back now, it was never about the schedule. This was during the early stages of our separation. Lawyers were involved. And suddenly, something that used to be flexible, something that used to be based on what worked best for our kids, became rigid, controlled. He had his lawyer create a parenting schedule, and on paper, it probably looked reasonable. He would have the boys on the weekend, and he wanted our daughter to join them for the full day on Sundays. But what wasn't being considered was that our daughter was still little. She was still breastfeeding for comfort. She needed me in a way that only a mother of a toddler understands. But that didn't matter, because this wasn't about her needs. It wasn't about the kids. It was about control. Around that time, my sister's baby shower was coming up. And it was on a Sunday. If you've ever been to a baby shower, you know what those days are like. Family, laughter, photos, memories. And this one was especially important. So many of his cousins were also going to be there. They all had little girls, the same age as my daughter. I wanted her there, not just for me, but for her. For those moments, for those connections. So I tried to be reasonable. I offered to switch days. Take her Saturday instead. Or even give him extra time the following weekend. I wasn't trying to take anything away from him. I was trying to make it work for everyone. But he said no. Not just no, but no with intention. He told me he didn't want to make any changes to the schedule, that he had started developing a routine with the children, and he didn't want to alter it. And that might sound reasonable at first. But here's the thing. This was new. There was no long-standing routine. No established rhythm. This was something that had just been put into place. So this wasn't about routine. It was about power. The day of the baby shower came, and I went alone. I walked in, and immediately people started asking about her. Where's your daughter? Why didn't you bring her? And I smiled. I kept it light. I said, "Oh, she's with her dad today." And that was it. There was no explanation, no truth, no mention of the fact that I had tried, that I had asked, that I had offered solutions. I didn't say, "He fought me on this." I begged to switch days. He knew this mattered to me. Instead, I protected him. Even in that moment, I was still protecting him. And I look back now, and I think about that version of me, standing there, surrounded by family, smiling, while inside I was hurt, angry, confused. But I didn't let anyone see it, because that's what I had been conditioned to do. Keep things quiet. Don't make him look bad. Don't create conflict, even when I was the one being hurt. And what hurts the most about that day is that it wasn't just about me missing her. It was about what she missed. Her cousins were there, little girls her age, playing, laughing, making memories together. And she wasn't there because he didn't want to change a schedule. But now I understand it wasn't about the schedule. It was about taking something from me. And this is something I want people to really hear, because it's subtle and it's easy to miss. Control doesn't always look like big dramatic moments. Sometimes it looks like someone refusing to switch a day, even when it makes sense, even when it's reasonable, even when it's about your child. Because the goal isn't fairness. The goal is control. And I didn't speak up. Not to my family. Not to anyone at the baby shower. I carried that alone. But I won't anymore. Because those moments matter. These small things, they're not small. They're part of a pattern. And if you're in something like this, if you find yourself constantly compromising, explaining, making things easier for the other person while they refuse to bend even a little bit, that's not co-parenting. That's control. And I see that now. Thanks for listening to After the Quiet. Please remember to subscribe to this podcast and share it with others who might need to hear my story. And also join me on Instagram at after.the.quiet. If you recognize parts of my story in your own, please reach out to someone who can give you support, or look for that support in your community. You are not weak for needing help. You are human. Your voice deserves to be heard.